The following segment is sponsored by the Upstate Center for Addiction Treatment.
Whether you've been married for a few decades, or maybe you just want to make sure your relationship of any length doesn't get boring, there are always ways to keep that spark alive. Dr. Ish Major is with us today. Welcome.
Hey, Margaret, how you doing?
Doing well. Good to see you. You know, viewers may recognize you because you're a very well-known psychiatrist, author, dating expert, TV host. We want to draw on that relationship expertise a little bit more. You're seeing couples that could use some help keeping their relationship exciting, right? What's going on?
Well, you know what? There's a lot going on in our lives right now. There's a lot going on in our love lives right now in particular, right? It's hard enough keeping things exciting when we've got the usual million things to choose from. Much more difficult now that we're down to only 5 or 6 things to choose from, right? We're all cooking the same 5 meals at home. We're all going to the same 5 places, maybe. And so that starts to get a little more difficult, right? Our brains like routine, but too much of a good thing is not good. And that's especially true when it comes to our relationship, because when we get too much of a good thing there, the killer bees start buzzing around. And I'm talking about boredom. And so when that sets in, our brains start to want something new, some surprise, some adventure, something a little exciting. So that's your signal that it's time to spice it up.
Absolutely. You don't want to let things get monotonous just because we're at home. But one piece of advice I've heard you give is keep dating your spouse. What does that mean?
Yeah, so look, if you don't want to get divorced from each other, you got to keep dating each other, right? Your spouse has to know that they are the most important person in the world to you, period. That's it, right? And when you were dating, you made sure you did everything possible to let them understand that. So the things you did to get them or the things you got to do to keep them, hands down. Relationships are easy. We're the ones that make them hard. You've got to let them know that they are the most important thing in your life, period. And if you can do that, that's good to go, right? If when you were dating, you were happy-go-lucky and free-spirited, well, you got to show them that, right? If that's who you were as a woman. If when you were dating, you were strong and decisive, and now you're a little less strong and you can't make a decision to save your life, that's a problem for her, right? So listen, those parts of us never go away, but you got to remember to let those parts that they fell in love with come out and play. And you've got to do that. And you've got to think of little things you can do to keep it exciting around the house.
And you keep making a fuss over one another as you once did. And maybe even couples who didn't make a fuss about each other before, it's not too late. So let's have some tips. Give us some specific maybe recommendations or ideas on how to make our significant other feel loved.
Well, you know what? You got to turn up the temperature. You got to turn up the energy. Margaret, you got to go full rom-com now, right? You got to go full-on romantic comedy. You got to break all the tricks out of the box. Here are 3 little things you can do that can go a long way. A simple compliment, right? We take these little things for granted. Make a simple compliment to them about something they may not be feeling all that great about right now. About the crow's feet or those laugh lines that may be getting just a little bit deeper, right? About that dad bod that's kind of coming into play as we all have put on some extra pounds, right? It's like, hey, honey, you know what? I really love that scruffy look. You hadn't had your hair done in a long time, but it's working for me. You know, it's like, you know what? I kind of like the dad bod thing you got going on. It's nice. It makes me feel nice and secure. It goes a long way, right? The other thing you can do is talk about mirroring. It's a strategy. It's a technique that lets each other know that you're being heard, right? In our relationships, one of the main things we want in conversations is just to be heard. And so, Margaret, what did you have for breakfast today?
Bacon.
So, Margaret, what I heard you say was you had bacon for breakfast today. How was that?
That was delightful. Thanks for asking. It always is.
Right? And so it's just that simple. You're simply going to repeat back to the person the last 3 words you heard them say, and it sends a subconscious message. Hey, you know what? I'm here and I'm tuned in and I heard you. That's how you get those cool conversations going. Now, the last thing to do is super, super simple, right? Nothing says I love you more like a surprise gift. So here's what you're going to do. This is going to set it on fire. You're going to go to Amazon. I don't want you running around to all these stores. You're going to go to Amazon. You're going to pick out 4 of their favorite little things. Little things. Order them. And for the next month, every Friday, you're going to figure out a way to surprise them with that little surprise gift. And I guarantee it'll set things on fire. It's just the simple things, the little things that go a long, long way.
It just shows you were thinking about that person, makes them feel loved.
Absolutely.
So always a good reminder. You keep it fresh. You make sure your partner feels it. And you also want to make sure people with addiction issues seek help when they need it. That's another big topic these days.
Yeah.
Tell us about your work at the Upstate Center for Addiction Treatment.
Yeah, so at the Upstate Center for Addiction Treatment, we treat all opiate detox. We use all Suboxone, medication-assisted treatment, and we also treat a lot of our pain problems. Now, Margaret, what we're doing now is we're actually doing a lot of antibody tests for COVID-19 because there are a lot of places in the area where you can't get them, especially the ones that are FDA approved. So ours are FDA approved. It's super quick. It's a quick finger stick. You can drive up, get it done in your car, and you get the results in less than 10 minutes. You don't have to wait 3 to 5 days like people are having to wait now. And so we're seeing a lot of students, a lot of kids, a lot of college kids going back to school wanting to come in for them. We're seeing a lot of families wanting to get the families tested, and it's mobile is one of those things where you can actually come and set it up for you. So we're doing a lot of business there. So if that's something you're interested in, you don't have to be a patient at the clinic to come get that done. Super quick, super easy. Come in, get that done. Everybody's looking for a way to make better choices and be as safe as possible. And this is just one of the ways to help do that. So give us a call. We can get you set up for that, sure.
So COVID testing and all kinds of services there. The Upstate Center for Addiction Treatment has a location on South Pine Street in Spartanburg, another in Anderson. People can schedule an appointment, 651-8116. Anything else to throw out before we let you go today, Dr. Ish?
Well, it's July. It's halftime, right? And halftime of 2020, and the first half has kicked all our butts. It really has. So this is my halftime speech, right? It's like we're all in the locker room and we're down 2 touchdowns and our starting quarterback ain't coming back in. He's knocked out of the game, and so we're on our own now. And so we can walk out of this thing with the win, but everybody's got to do their part. Everybody's got to, no missed assignments. Everybody's got to do their job. And if everybody shows up trying to be the best version of themselves every day for the second half, we can walk out of this thing with a win. I believe we can do it. That's my rah-rah speech.
I love your rah-rah speech. We need that very much right now. Dr. Ish, always such a pleasure to talk to you, and we look forward to doing it again soon. Thanks for coming to us from the Upstate Center for Addiction Treatment.